Are you ready to embark on this emotional and inspiring story of a boy who tells a little story of his life in an orphanage? A Little Orphan shows us the true meaning of love and compassion. This is a story you won't want to miss, a story that will touch your heart and inspire your soul. Come and be part of this exciting journey and discover the transformative power of human warmth. On a rainy morning in the 1970s, two Americans accepted an invitation from the United States Department of Education. The instruction was to teach morality and ethics in public schools based on biblical principles. They had to teach in prisons, businesses, police departments, fire departments, and even in a large orphanage. This orphanage housed nearly 200 children who had been abandoned and turned over to the state. It was there that the story these visitors shared emerged. As the 1970 holiday season approached, the orphanage children were getting ready to hear the traditional Christmas story for the first time with love, pride, and hope. The Americans told us about when Mary and Joseph arrived in Bethlehem. Unable to find room in the city's inns, they had to hastily go to a stable where baby Jesus was finally born and placed in a manger. As the story was told, the children and staff of the orphanage couldn't contain their admiration. Some of them almost fell off their chairs, so impressed they were trying to absorb every lesson. The Americans proposed to the children a project in the form of a game to check if they had clearly understood this beautiful narrative. Each child received 3 small pieces of cardboard to make a primitive manger and a square of paper cut from napkins that the Americans brought with them. Following the Americans' instructions, the children carefully cut and rolled the paper, placing the strips as if they were straw in that cardboard manger. Cotton pieces that had been forgotten in an abandoned room were used to make a small blanket for the baby. While the orphans were engaged in assembling their managers, the Americans circulated among them, offering assistance, and everyone progressed well. However, a lonely figure caught attention in the distance. A little boy sitting delicately contemplating his creation. Intrigued, the visitors approached to understand what was happening. The boy, about 7 years old, had completed his creation. When they looked at the manger, a surprise awaited them. Not just one, but 2 babies rested there. Intrigued, they began to talk to the boy to understand why there were 2 babies in the representation. The boy, with arms crossed, watched the scene seriously and began to retell the story. When he got to the part where Mary put the baby in the manger, the boy began to invent his ending to the story. He said, "When Mary put the baby in the manger, Jesus looked at me and asked if I had a place to stay. I told him I didn't have a mother or father and didn't have a place to stay. Then Jesus told me I could stay there with him. I told him I couldn't because I didn't have a gift to give him, but I wanted to stay with Jesus. Then I thought of something I could give him as a gift: warmth. I asked Jesus if giving warmth would be a good gift for him, and Jesus said if I gave warmth, it would be the best gift he ever received. So I got into the manager. Jesus looked at me and said, 'If you want, you can stay here forever.'" When the little orphan finished telling his story, his eyes shone, filled with tears that wet his cheeks. He covered his face, bowed his head on the table, and his shoulders began to shake in deep crying. The little orphan had found someone who would never abandon him or abuse him, someone who would be with him forever. With tears of tenderness in their eyes, the visitors witnessed not only the vivid imagination and deep sensitivity of that boy, but also the pure essence of the Christmas spirit. At that moment, they understood that the Christmas story went beyond a traditional narrative. It was about unconditional love, compassion, and acceptance. The simple and genuine gesture of that boy offering warmth as a gift to Jesus resonated as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest moments, the light of hope and kindness can shine brightly. And so, in that orphanage, under the rain of that 1970 morning, a little heart found the promise of an eternal presence, while everyone witnessed the true meaning of Christmas, giving and receiving love without limits, without conditions, forever. The story reminds us that even in the most difficult and lonely moments, the true gift we can offer and receive is the warmth of love and compassion. Just as the little orphan found comfort and acceptance by offering his warmth to the representation of Jesus in the manger, we too can find meaning and connection by sharing our human warmth with those around us. God invites us to look beyond circumstances and difficulties, recognizing that the true meaning of loving our neighbor lies in the ability to extend a hand and offer our warmth to each other, nourishing hope, faith, and love that transcend the boundaries of loneliness and abandonment. Love and compassion should accompany us wherever we go and at any time of the year. A person filled with God transmits this love only in the way they behave. To me, this story carries immense meaning. It taught me that in life, people matter, not material possessions. Divine mercy is infinite. There is always a place for each of us. God is love and never leaves us abandoned, but we must long for His company with all our hearts and feel His presence beside us amidst the adversities of life. Losses, illnesses, financial difficulties. Few seek refuge in God. However, He rewards those who seek Him. If we look deeply into ourselves, we will find His presence and strength to move forward in this challenging world. It is essential to trust and incorporate the values taught by His Word, respecting others, loving, being honest with God and with ourselves. We must value the life that has been given to us, appreciating its daily blessings, family, work, food, health. God will shower us with grace. I hope this story has touched you. Always remember to seek refuge in God in moments of loneliness. If you like this video, leave your comment and subscribe so you don't miss other wonderful lessons like this one. Turn on the notifications to be informed about new content. Share your comments and impressions about this story. If you have ever felt like the child in the orphanage, may God bless you. Until next time.